Okay, let's be real. If you're an academic, you know that feeling, that little jolt when you see an email from a journal editor pop into your inbox. Your heart kind of skips a beat, right? But what if you could turn that moment of, sheer anxiety into a moment of confidence? Well, let's dive into that. We're going to master the art of the reviewer response.
And there they are, the two words that can feel like the heaviest in all of academic publishing: revisions required. You get this wild mix of feelings, right? It's relief. Hey, it's not an outright rejection, but it's also this sudden weight of all the work that's ahead. We've all been there. But here's the thing. This isn't a setback. It's a launch pad.
This is actually the whole point of peer review. It's an invitation to take your work and just elevate it. So try to think of it less like criticism and more like a collaboration. You've got brilliant experts volunteering their time to help you sharpen your research. That feedback, that's your roadmap to a much, much stronger paper.
Now, to navigate that roadmap, you absolutely need one critical tool: the Response to Reviewers document. And listen, this isn't just some administrative hoop to jump through. It is a vital, essential part of the whole editorial process. It's really how we, as scholars, communicate effectively. So what is this thing really? Think of it like your evidence file. It's a dedicated point-by-point document that shows the editor and the reviewers exactly how you've wrestled with their comments. It's your chance to not just tell them you've improved the manuscript, but to actually show them step by step.
And this right here, this is probably the biggest mindset shift you need to make. Your goal is not to go into battle to defend your original draft. It's not about winning an argument or proving a reviewer wrong. The real purpose, the only purpose, is to show that you have thoughtfully, respectfully, and thoroughly engaged with every single comment.
Okay, so we've got the right mindset. Now, how do we actually build this thing? Let's get into the nuts and bolts. We're going to walk through a blueprint for a response that's clear, perfectly structured, and just radiates professionalism.
It really boils down to 4 key steps. It's pretty straightforward. You start with a professional, gracious opening. Then comes the real work. You address every single comment, no skipping. Then you get super specific, stating exactly what you changed and where to find it. And finally, and this is important, you learn how to respectfully justify those rare times when you might disagree.
Step 1 is all about setting the right tone from the get-go. Before you type anything else, you start by sincerely thanking the editor and the reviewers for their time and their valuable insights. It seems simple, but this immediately creates a collaborative feeling, not a combative one. It shows you respect them and the whole process.
Now we get to the heart of the document. You have to be meticulous here. Literally copy and paste every single comment, yeah, even the tiny ones about a typo, and write your response directly underneath it. And you have to be specific. Never, ever just write done or fixed. Instead, you say something like, "Thank you for this excellent suggestion. We have revised this paragraph to clarify our methodology, which can now be found on page 8, lines 22 through 28. See the difference?
Of course, what you say is only half the battle. How you say it? Well, that's just as critical. The real goal is to be academically responsible. So let's talk about what that tone actually looks like and sounds like in practice.
Oh, this is the perfect example. It just shows everything. Saying a reviewer misunderstood something, it just sounds defensive, and it kind of shuts down the conversation. But here's the big insight. If an expert reviewer misunderstood your point, you can bet that other readers are going to be confused too. So framing it as a chance to clarify and improve readability shows your focus is on making the paper better, not on defending your ego.
So here's the bottom line. Always, always stay polite. Get rid of any hint of frustration in your writing. So what happens if you genuinely think a reviewer is wrong? You disagree, but you do it respectfully. For instance, you don't say, "That's wrong." You say something like, "We thank the reviewer for this suggestion. While that analysis is certainly valuable in other contexts, for our specific research question, we believe method X is more appropriate, for reasons A, B, and C. To make our rationale clearer, we have added a brief justification on page 12. You see? It's firm, it's backed up with evidence, and it is 100% professional. All of this really brings us back to one central theme, one core idea that should guide your entire response. It's the true mark of someone who is engaging with peer review in a meaningful, mature way.
Seriously, if you take only one thing away today, let it be this. You are not defending a fortress from an attack. You're entering into a scholarly dialogue with your peers. It's a conversation where everyone has the same goal, improving knowledge. That shift in perspective, it changes everything.
So why does all this matter so much? Well, because the payoff is huge. A great response doesn't just get your paper across the finish line. It makes the whole review process faster and smoother for everyone. It builds your reputation as a thoughtful, professional scholar. And most importantly, it's what transforms your good research into truly great, impactful research.
So the next time that email lands in your inbox and you see those 2 words, revisions required, just take a deep breath and ask yourself this one question. Are you about to write a document of justification aimed at defending what you've already done? Or are you going to craft a document of improvement, one that embraces this dialogue and elevates your work to its absolute best? The choice, believe me, makes all the difference.